Welcome back to Wisdom Wednesday, everyone, and Happy New Year. I hope this year has found you healthy and happy so far, and I hope you stay that way. Thanks so much for joining us today. I'm your host, Dorothy Dorton with AARP Alabama, and this week we're going to be talking about what's in store for AARP Alabama for 2021 and different ways of how you can get involved. While we are still all virtual for your safety and health, we are excited about new virtual opportunities to keep you connected and in the know this year. As always, please feel free to ask relevant questions and in the comments section, and we'll try to address each of those at the end of the broadcast. Also, any of the slides that we show you for informational purposes will be posted in the comment section of this broadcast on the Facebook page. So make sure you go back and look at that if you need those for reference. So today I am joined, first of all, by Candy Williams, our state director for AARP Alabama and my boss. And Candy, thanks so much for joining us today.
Good morning, Dorothy. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too. So Candy, I wanted to start by kind of doing a real quick recap of really AARP as an organization and
Sure.
What we are, what we do, and our purpose. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. AARP is a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization, and nationally we have about 38 million members, including more than 420,000 members right here in the state of Alabama. Our role is to advocate on their behalf on issues, regardless of politics. At AARP, we believe that no one's possibilities should ever be limited by their age, and we work to find solutions so that people can live and age as they choose. We want to be in your corner, fighting on issues that matter for you and your family on the federal, state, and the local level, and on issues such as like fraud and caregiving, age-friendly communities. And we also have a lot of fun, which I think we're going to talk a little bit more about later on in the call.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Sure.
And next, we're going to bring in Anna Pritchett, who is our state advocacy director. And Anna is going to talk to us about what our priorities are for the state, because as Candy mentioned, we are fighting for the 50 plus and their families. And that involves a lot of advocacy, a lot of nonpartisan advocacy to fight for you for what you need in this state. So Anna, can you tell us a little bit about what the 2021 priorities are going to be this year for the state of Alabama, AARP Alabama?
Yeah. Hey guys. Like I said, I'm advocacy director. My name's Anna. Thanks, Dorothy. I think our top priorities are for 2021 are going to be a little bit flexible. I think, of course, we always focus on helping people live their best lives as they age, particularly at home and in the communities. And with the times that we're in now, that's even more important. So, of course, anything to do, we will continue to advocate on behalf of people 50 and older around the coronavirus and what moves forward with the vaccines and how we move throughout the year. That being said, we also want to work on issues around affordable, reliable, high-speed internet. We've all seen how important that is. I think it's only going to become more important, and that includes for our seniors and keeping all of Alabama connected in a way, like I said, that's affordable and reliable. I don't know how many of you, but I think all of us have experienced that time where we're trying to do something online and all of a sudden it just drops you in the middle of something important. And if you've ever filled out a form online, that's the worst time possible, I think, to do that. And I think we'll be more and more dependent on those kind of things. We're also traditionally very involved in elder abuse and financial exploitation and fraud issues. We anticipate 2 different pieces of legislation coming forward, I think, that will help prevent fraud and protect people. So stay tuned for that. We are more and more interested around modernizing the long-term care system here in Alabama so that folks don't have to go into nursing homes unless they absolutely need full-time care, and that we have more quality moving forward, things that we've learned from the pandemic and seen that maybe need some improvement. So looking for ways to improve safety and quality. We'll have more around supporting our caregivers as they're taking care of loved ones at home, and also just making sure we support those, the funding of those life-saving programs that we always talk about with Medicaid and Meals on Wheels and those things that help people stay at home longer.
That's really great information. Thanks so much, Anna. You mentioned about the nursing homes and the vaccination rollout. I know that we've really been focusing on that, and the challenge still is making sure that people are educated about what's going on in nursing homes and about the vaccine rollout. Can you expound a little bit on what the issue is that we're really focusing on, especially with nursing homes and the pandemic?
Sure. We have been working on this quite a bit. I know the idea that we're all working from home somehow, that we've slowed down. I don't know about anybody else, but I feel like our work has doubled. We have pushed and tried to support anything we could to make the job of the nursing homes easier. So like funding, supporting staffs, making sure that they're getting hazard pay, protective gear. We worked a lot about on testing and regular testing and visitation for residents and their families, making sure that the long-term care ombudsman could still get in there and help families and be that go-between between facilities that are just so stressed and doing such a tough job and trying to keep their family and their staffs safe, and then taking care of our own families as well. We talked a lot about making sure that we had the data and information coming in from the nursing homes and the government to make sure that people can make the right, best decisions for their loved ones, and just within the policies of the health department and the nursing homes, making sure that any of the laws that keep people safer were being addressed, or anything that needed to be addressed that would keep people safer would continue to be in the discussions. And even we've had across the country several court fights, actually, where we've had to take folks to court to make sure that that they're doing the right thing and holding folks accountable, so they can't just take the easy way.
Right. And I know that I think it's over, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like 2/3 of those infected are 65 and older. Most are in nursing homes. So this is something that really is vital to making sure, like you said, people are held accountable and all safety measures are in place for our older loved ones.
No, you're right. And I will tell you that tomorrow morning, we're about to release some state-specific data that is really interesting. So if you're interested on the nursing home rates of infection and what's going on, really, we have a nursing home dashboard for the coronavirus that's really informative and not only tells you where we are compared to where we've been, but also in relation to the rest of the state and kind of what the averages are. So you can see that it's not just us trying to struggle, it's us like where we maybe have had some shortfalls in the past, and it's time to kind of raise that bar. And I think that we'll have a lot of opportunities over the next couple of years to really look at lessons learned and prevent those infections and support our nursing homes.
Absolutely. Wonderful. That's really great to know. Thank you so much. And so one thing that I do want to talk about too, Anna, is people can get involved in this advocacy that we're doing. And that's so important. And can you tell us a little bit about how folks can get involved? I think we even already had a question about that. Bill Hawkins asked, how can folks help with AARP's advocacy activities? And that leads us up to that. That's a perfect question. So Anna, can you address that for us?
Terrific. Yes, and we're learning all kinds of new ways to be involved virtually. So it's a learning process for all of us. I would like to encourage everybody to go ahead and sign up as an e-advocate for us. That's really how we get a lot of our information out. It's at aarp.org and then /get involved. And you can sign up to be a part of our e-advocate. So you will get our newsletters, our e-blasts, our event invites. And then, of course, on this Facebook page, we try to get everything we can out and share the news that impacts what we're working on as much as possible. And then as we move forward, we have volunteers who come up to the State House and help us monitor legislation and read through bills and give testimony and take notes, because there's always something going on, and trying to make sure that we have all the best information we can get. And then, of course, meeting with those legislators to let them know about issues that are important to us that we're working on. We're doing that a little bit differently this year, so it'll be exciting. But I think we're going to be even more dependent on the folks being willing to step up and help us monitor what's going on through the website that the legislature is going to be posting on, and then also making sure to track folks when they go back to their home districts to make sure that we get our word in on legislation, and then also giving testimony and writing letters. That's so critical.
Awesome. That's great information. And like you saw, I just put that slide up there, and I will put that back in the comment section after the broadcast. We had another question of where can we find the new data information you mentioned. I think that might be referring to
the nursing home dashboard.
Nursing home. Yes. Is that going to be put on our social media?
It'll be on our social media.
Okay.
It'll be on the AARP.org national social media that you can see where we've had the previous postings. This is the newest data we'll have. A release for the last, I think, 3 months is when we've been doing it. But you'll see it tomorrow morning. It'll be posted on our social media and then on the main website. Also, the AARP.org advocates, AARP advocates Facebook page and social media is also very timely, and also you'll get the DC stuff as well coming out of the national office with Congress. So either one will be great. We love to have you guys on Facebook because that's the easiest, fastest way we can get things to you.
Absolutely. And again, I'm going to throw this up here to get involved. It's a great way to sign up for the advocacy alerts. So you know what's going on. And if we have a call to action where something's going on and we really want to encourage folks to contact their state representatives, that's a great place to find that out and get involved. So Anna, I want to thank you so much for joining us and telling us a little bit about that today. I really appreciate it. And thank you. Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Thank you. And so we're going to go back to Candy now, and we're going to talk about switching gears. We're going to talk about some outreach stuff and kind of what we've got going on in other ways that we're engaging and educating. And we, just like yesterday, if you missed it, we had a teletown hall where we were honored to have the leaders of the state house in the state Congress. And so they spoke to us and answered some questions, and that is on our Facebook page. That recording you can go back and listen to is, and so that's really convenient and nice. So we're going to have more of these teletown halls because they are so informative. And can you tell us about the next one we've got coming up, Candy?
Sure, absolutely. One of the things that there's a lot of information happening right now, not only around COVID-19, but around vaccinations in the state of Alabama. And so what we're trying to do is make sure that we have the right, most accurate information to be able to disseminate, not only to our members, but anyone out there who's looking for the information. And so on January the 26th at 6:30, we will be right back here on Facebook. There's also a way to dial in, which we will post on Facebook, for people to listen and learn from a representative from the Alabama Department of Public Health to ask questions about vaccinations, how they were developed, and what's happening. Also, and that's from AARP Alabama. That is very Alabama centric on the 26th. This Thursday, we also have, there are 2 teletown halls that are popping up, both around vaccinations, around COVID-19, also taking care of your loved one, caregiving. And so if you have questions about that, you can look on the AARP programs page, and we can post that on our Facebook page also if it's not already posted. And we can put the dial-in information also too. So the biggest thing right now is we're all looking for information, right? And the more information we can make the best educated decisions, what's best for us and our families. And so we ask you to dial in, listen in, and ask questions.
Absolutely. And that information is changing daily
rapidly
as far as the vaccination rollout. So that's a really good information to know. And we have a communications director who does a really great job of keeping our Twitter and our Facebook pages updated with the latest information. So please refer back to that our Facebook page and our Twitter account often. So that's great to know. We've also got things like this live broadcast. We're continuing with our Wisdom Wednesdays, and we're continuing with our What's Going On, which we just had this past Monday. Ann Hales is doing some great things with the Art of the Armory. That's going to be at 1 today. So these are all live broadcasts. Tawana, who does what Ann and I do in the Birmingham-Huntsville area, she's going to be doing some cooking classes and some more fitness classes. And that's all going to be live broadcast. But Candy, this is really exciting for me. We've finally gotten Zoom capabilities.
We do.
And we didn't have those before because of their security wasn't strong enough for AARP.
Right.
And so finally it is. So can you tell us, I know a lot of people are familiar with Zoom, but can you tell us a little bit about real quick rundown of how Zoom could work for us and what else we've got going on?
Sure. So on top of our advocacy and education, we like to have fun with purpose, which is all these live events that we've got coming up, the cooking, and we want you to have a good time while you're sitting at home and staying safe, right? But also we know that some people need more directed information. So on Zoom, we will be able this year to offer Prepare to Care presentations, for example. And Prepare to Care helps you as a caregiver learn how to better organize yourself to take care of yourself while you're taking care of a loved one. Maybe you would like more information on tax aid or tax aid services. There's also a lot of information that AARP offers on fraud and issues around fraud, the current frauds. And so we have two things. One, we will be looking at organizing some of these presentations, which you can click and register and attend and ask all kinds of questions. But also, if you have an organization that is continuing to meet virtually, let's say your sorority, your Sunday school group, and you're continuing to meet virtually and you would like a virtual presentation, you can reach out to us and we'll be happy to organize that with you on Zoom.
Absolutely. That's great. And yes, that's exactly what, Ann and Tawana and I will be doing. It's almost like old times, except not in person, but I am really excited about it. It's a little more of an intimate way
Sure.
for us to interact with you. I love the live broadcast. Like I said, they're going to continue. But like Candy said, we've got where you can do a little more question and answering, a little more of a educational one-on-one or one-on small group, opportunity.
I do, and I think one thing that we miss sometimes, and I know I miss the conversations. I
Yes.
always learn. And so if we're talking to a group of people who are taking care of their loved ones or have loved ones in nursing homes and are sharing, we learn from that and we can take it forward. And so it does give everybody the opportunity to have those conversations. It's informal. We want people to come and learn and have a good time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just to stop for just a second before we continue, we've got a lot of great comments in the comment section. So I just want to kind of throw some of these up there. Lisa Billingsley says, I'm a new caregiver and this info is very helpful. And so that's great, Lisa. And we're going to have more information on caregiving. And like Candy said, we can do the Prepare to Cares and Zoom presentations now. I work real closely with our area agency on aging down here in Mobile on that kind of stuff. So we'll definitely have more information for that. Anna is wonderful. She looked up and posted, there's the Teletown Hall information from yesterday. So that is in the comments section. You can click on that link if you want to go back and look at that. We also had a national Teletown Hall last week that you can look at. There's that link. It's also in the comments. So lots of great information. And here, Anna has posted again in the comment section, again, the link to the nursing home dashboard. So you can look at that. And again, that will be updated. We're also going to have estate planning sessions coming up at the end of the month. We're going to be doing some more down here. I was doing some African-American historical tours. We're going to see how we're working right now to see how we can get those virtually and do Zoom. So there's just so much that we're going to be doing. And, one of the beauties of this is that it doesn't just have to be me or Ann or Tawana. I mean, we love being with you guys. And especially with Zoom, it's going to be so exciting to see everybody's faces again and see how you're doing. And like Candy said, have those conversations. But we also would love to have, and we do have, but we'd love to have more volunteers who would like to do this kind of stuff, especially those tech savvy volunteers who know how to do Zoom. I'm honestly still learning how to do Zoom. who want to learn how to do live broadcasts like this. We would love to have those volunteers. And if you are interested in volunteering, here's the information for that right there. And you'll see this picture is when we were in person. These are some of my volunteers from Mobile who are very near and dear to my heart. But they're doing a great job, and we're working on getting them trained and ready to go for virtual. So we'd love to have you there and with us. And just go to aarp.org/volunteer. And let's see, we're also going to post information on Facebook that includes AARP Alabama emails and all that stuff. So we'll keep you updated on that. Again, these slides are going to be put in the comment section. Anna has put a whole bunch of great information on our comment section as well. So be sure to go back in the Facebook page and look at that stuff. And Candy, are there other ways people can volunteer at this point that you can think of? I know we are all still virtual, but
I'm sorry, it's safety first. We
yes.
miss everyone, but it's safety first. There's
yes.
many ways that people can volunteer at AARP, and we want you to find your niche. So for example, if you are a caregiver and you've had to fight for resources for your loved one, maybe you're a caregiving advocacy volunteer and can work with us to tell your story to help elected officials to understand. If you do a lot of work in your community, and let's say that you're more interested in making sure that your community is age friendly and is welcome to all ages, where you can walk, bike, roll, stroll across your community, maybe you're a local advocacy volunteer. We're always looking for support to help us teach classes. For example, the fraud, the caregiving. We also have a class called Home Fit that helps you prepare your home. So, what we're asking is people to come to us and say, yes, I've got time on my hands, and I would love to be involved with AARP. And we have a great discussion for us to figure out what's your strengths and where do you want to show up in our space. And we'll work to maximize that. We want everybody we appreciate everyone who spends their time with AARP. And we want you to feel like that your work is meaningful and powerful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you made a perfect point on the local advocacy too. Anna focuses on state. We do some federal advocacy as well. But locally, if there's, we really work on something that we call livable communities. And that's, talking about how we make everything, how sidewalks and just the way people get around in their city is accessible for everyone. And that's something that, you can get involved with on a local level. If you want to look at something more statewide, the beauty about virtual is that a lot of our educational pieces that we're going to be doing with Zoom, those are going to be and can be statewide. So, there's multiple ways you can participate. And then once we get back into in-person events, which we are determined, that is the light at the end of the tunnel. We would love to have you come out and, be with us in person and especially celebrate the fact that we can be together again. That will be so exciting. But again,
I want to put a quick plug in, Dorothy. I'm sorry, is that if you aren't familiar with Zoom and technology, or you're a little bit tech cautious, that's something we can help train you on. AARP has been offering Zoom classes because we want you to be connected virtually and digitally. And so don't let that be a barrier to you if you're interested in volunteering with AARP. We will find ways. And then again, when we start meeting back in person, we're trying to think about how can we do a virtual aspect to our in-person classes so that if you are at home caregiving and cannot leave your loved one, that you can still participate with AARP.
Right. And that's the beauty of doing all of this and learning all of this virtually. You can also take those skills that you learned from AARP and apply them to other areas too. We're not expecting you to just exclusively use your Zoom talent with AARP. Go out and have a social, happy hour with your friends with the skills that you've learned. That's just one of the many advantages.
Absolutely.
But we want to make sure that when you are volunteering with us, that you are doing it, as Candy said, fun with purpose. We want you to have fun. We want you to find meaning in it. And we want to be there to support you in the way you're supporting us. So again, there is our aarp.org/volunteer. You can sign up to be a volunteer. And I just want to thank Candy for joining us today.
I enjoyed it. Thanks for having me. This is fun.
Yeah, this is really great. And just a quick side note too, as volunteers, you know, we're not going to just throw you out there to the wolves by yourself. You know, I can be a co-host with you. Another volunteer can be a co-host with you. You will not be going through that alone. So I just want to make one more plug for that. But again, Candy, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. We are going to have our next Wisdom Wednesday on the 27th. So not next week, but the week after. And we'll be focusing on 2021 health and fitness. And so we're going to have a dietitian from the Alabama Department of Public Health, and we're going to have one of our exercise fitness instructors on to talk about all the healthy ways that even if you're still at home, you can eat better and exercise and get moving. So stay tuned. We have a video of our upcoming events, and it's really exciting. Got a lot of great stuff. Don't forget to tune in this afternoon with Ann Hales and the Art of the Armory. It's going to be a really great show. And again, Candy, thanks so much. Thanks, everybody, for joining us, and have a great Wednesday.
Bye, y'all.